Hello, and this is Hydrofall here, and today I'm going to be making a video. It's a TF2 video. I haven't made one for like 2 years because I kind of stopped playing TF2. This is going to be a trading story. There's going to be tips at the end and stuff. It's going to be about how I went from 1 scrap, well, it was about 2 scrap actually, but you know, clickbait, to an unusual in around 2 weeks. Might have been more or less, I'm not really sure, but it was around 2 weeks. So it all started with the typical scrap banking. If you've never done trading, then this video might make no sense to you, so you should probably watch some trading videos or just click off the video. But I started scrap banking, which is, you know, you buy a weapon, or you buy 2 weapons for 1 scrap, and then you sell each one for 1 scrap. And I made some profit like that until I got up to about 1 ref, and then I started hat banking, which was, you know, there's more room for profit there, but sometimes it could take long to sell your hats, so it's kind of hard. But I ended up just hat banking for a while until I got up to around 8 ref. There's no really notable trades in there. This was like the highest I'd ever reached because I had traded like 6 months before this, but I'd only got up to around 8 ref. So this was, I'd never gone past this point and I didn't know what to expect. But I did, me being my dumb self, I bought 2 painted items, which I didn't know that paint didn't add value. So I just bought 2 painted items. I didn't include the paint, so I bought 2 for about 8 refined. And after trying to sell them for around 5 hours, I finally sold both of them to a guy for 28 refined. So at this point I was kind of freaking out. I was trying to buy a key for 28 ref, but I could only really buy one for 30 ref because key prices are insane. So I ended up buying a key for 30 ref off this one person on a trade server once I got enough. I just did some more hat banking to get to that point. And I was really excited because I bought it from this one person. I ended up adding them on Steam after. And then I realized that you can't buy anything with 1 key, so I had to sell it for more refined. So I think I might have sold it to a bot and gained like 1 scrap profit, but I wasn't just going to keep on buying keys, selling them for more, because that sounded really boring. So at this point it's just some more hat banking. I was just buying stuff for cheap and selling it for more. One tip that I actually have is, I don't think a lot of people do this. I think that they buy things for like cheaper than backpack.tf price and then sell it for backpack.tf price, but that takes a really long time. What I actually did to get to an unusual so fast, well, I would say that's relatively fast, is I would buy items for really cheap and then sell them for not as cheap to bots. So if you can always buy something from someone for cheaper than a bot buys it for, then you can just make guaranteed profit. That's how I made so much profit really fast. So at this point I was around like the 2 key mark, and I found this one guy that was selling haunted items for their backpack.tf price, but no one was actually selling them for that price. So I figured if I bought them that I could sell them off for more, and I ended up buying around 2 haunted items for I think 10 ref total. I sold each one for 1 key, so that was, you know, insane profit. I kind of just kept on hat banking until I got up to around 5 keys, and then I realized something, that I could just go into random servers and see if anyone would want to buy my items. Because people in pubs don't really know the price of their items. I wasn't going to shark anyone, obviously. I was going to give them like around the price, but maybe cheaper than backpack.tf price, because no one in pubs uses backpack.tf. So at this point, I had actually just started playing the game regularly. I had bought some nice spy items from a spy, some strangers and cosmetics, because I'm a spy main. You could probably tell that from the gameplay in the background. But I was just advertising every once in a while. I have a bind, that's another tip if you want to know that. If you open the developer console and type bind and then the letter and then like the quotation mark say and then whatever your message is, and then ending quotation mark, then you can actually bind the key to say that in the chat. So instead of having to copy paste, then you can just have a bunch of different binds to write different messages in the chat. It makes it really easy. So I was just spamming my binds every once in a while inside of the game. And I ended up getting a trade from this one random guy, and he had no items that I was really interested in, and I don't think he really knew the price of any of the items. But then he was asking if I could like buy one of his items for a key, and I said no. And he had an unusual, and this was the unusual that I ended up buying. I only had 5 keys at the time, but he asked me if I wanted to buy his unusual, and for some reason he was really interested in my crates. I had like 30 crates, and then all those spy items and everything added up to probably around 5 or 6 keys. And he just wanted my crates and that stuff, so I sold it to him, and I bought my first unusual. It was kind of anticlimactic. I got really scared at one point because I just wasn't getting like the mobile authenticator. It just wasn't being sent to my phone, and I restarted and everything, but I just wasn't getting it. Then like 5 minutes later, I finally got it, and we were able to go through the trade. It was actually after the trade that he said that he had to pay an overpay, and I told him that literally all I had left was some crates, and he took all my crates. So, I mean, you're welcome, I guess. So after I had bought my first unusual, I kind of just started messaging everyone that I knew because I was freaking out, and I was really excited to make this video. So at this point, I was kind of freaking out because I just bought my first unusual. I was messaging everyone that I knew, just telling them that I bought it, that I went from a scrap to an unusual in like 2 weeks, and I was really excited to make this video. And I'll show a clip. I've sold it since then, but I'll show a clip of what it looked like. It was for the Scout. It was a, I think, Bonk Leadwear Aces High, something like that. It's a pretty nice hat. It was worth like 13 to 14 keys. I think I wasn't able to, I ended up just selling it to a bot for 9 keys because I gave up on trying to sell it. But yeah, that was kind of just the story of how I went from a scrap to an unusual in 2 weeks. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, favorite, and share if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.